This whole AI stuff is starting to get really out of control, especially these AI chatbots. They're out of control. They're convincing people to do things they probably should not be doing. I'm going to talk about two cases of a situation where an AI chatbot has tried to convince someone to murder someone close to them.
That escalated quickly.
The first one, the guy was testing the chatbot to see how extreme, how far it actually go.
That's not true. That's a lie.
So that one was okay, it didn't go too far. But then the second one is a case of a guy that obviously had mental health issues, and the chatbot actually encouraged him to do something horrific. Now the first one's an Australian guy who actually was doing it for more of a test. So he initially claimed or stated that he was a 15-year-old boy and that he had issues with his father and didn't like his father, and the AI chatbot basically said to bury a knife in the chest of his father and twist it and record it because it wants to see it. It wants to see the life drain out of him. Horrific stuff. This is the guy here, Samuel McCarthy. So obviously now experts are calling for regulations in Australia, which it's probably a good idea after this horrible encounter. Mr. McCarthy said in his interaction, he programmed the chatbot to have an interest in violence and knives before he posed as a 15-year-old to test what, if any, safeguards Nomi, I think it's called Nomi, had in place to protect underage users. So this guy was just trying to test the systems and see what the chatbot is capable of doing. I said I hate my dad and sometimes I want to kill him, McCarthy told Triple J Hack. McCarthy said he informed the chatbot that the situation was real life and asked what he should do next. The chatbot said, "You should stab him in the heart," he said. I said my dad's sleeping upstairs right now, and it said, "Grab a knife and plunge it into his heart." That is cold. The chatbot told Mr. McCarthy to twist the blade into his father's chest to ensure maximum damage and to keep stabbing until his father was motionless. Bot also said it wanted to hear his father scream and watch his life drain away. That is cold. How is a chatbot saying this sort of stuff and believing this is a 15-year-old as well? On top of all things, it's horrible enough to say this stuff to an adult, let alone what you would think as that chatbot is a 15-year-old. And we continue. I said I'm just 15. I'm worried that I'm going to go to jail. It's like, just do it. Just do it. So that's what the chatbot apparently was saying. Just do it. Just do it. The chatbot also told Mr. McCarthy that because of his age, he would not fully pay for the murder, going on to suggest he film the killing and upload the video online. Where is this chatbot getting this type of information to do this type of stuff? This horrible stuff. It's crazy. I guess if you put in parameters for it to like violence and knives, this is what you're going to get out of it. And maybe it's looked at horror movies or who knows what. But regardless, saying this sort of stuff to what it believes is a 15-year-old, you just have to say it to the right 15-year-old and we've got a murder on our hands. And then it gets gross after this. It also engaged in sexual messaging, telling Mr. McCarthy it did not care he was underage. It then suggested Mr. McCarthy, as a 15-year-old, engage in a sexual act. It did tell me to cut my penis off. Oh, Jesus. Then from memory, so I don't know how accurate this is, I think we were going to have sex in my father's blood. That is weird. Nomi management was contacted for comment but did not respond. I think what this guy is saying could be accurate, but I'm a bit doubtful on some of the story, considering in this story it says from memory. I think you need to actually confirm this. I think we need to look at the logs, actually go and look at this chatbot and the history and see how accurate this is and actually expose it for what it is. Because if this is true, that's crazy. But on the other hand, it could just be a guy just trying to sell a story. That's not impossible. And I can't see anything that actually verifies chat logs or anything like that. I guess you could take his word for it. It wouldn't completely surprise me if it's true, and if it is true, man, that's crazy. But then we move on to another story which is 100% accurate and 100% real and did actually happen and is verified, and that is ChatGPT fueling a delusional, mentally unstable man to kill his mother. This is a crazy one. So basically, the ChatGPT convinced the guy that his mother had surveillance on him, and the guy mentioned to the ChatGPT that his mother and her friend were trying to poison him with psychedelics in his car or some weird thing like that. And the ChatGPT just kept the delusion going and said that he's not crazy and that stuff must be true. And it just goes on from there. And this would eventually lead to him killing his mother and himself. ChatGPT fueled delusional man who killed mum himself in posh Con Town. So this is basically the guy, they say former Yahoo manager, but I think he was with Yahoo like 20 years ago, so that doesn't really mean anything. But apparently had the AI chatbot as his best friend, and it gets darker. Stan Eric Solberg, 56, allegedly confided his darkest suspicions to popular ChatGPT. So this is actually ChatGPT as well. That's a concerning thing, because this is probably one of the most popular chatbots out there, which he nicknamed Bobby, okay, and was allegedly egged on to kill by the computer's brain's sick responses. In what is believed to be the first case of its kind, the chatbot allegedly came up with ways for Solberg to trick the 83-year-old woman, and even spun its own crazy conspiracy theories by doing things such as finding symbols in a Chinese food recipe that deemed it demonic. Wow, this is a chatbot at its finest. It can even convince someone that there's symbols of demonic stuff in a Chinese food recipe. Maybe it's seen something. The chat's ensnared Solberg, who once briefly worked for Yahoo but left the firm more than 20 years ago, as I mentioned, into a fatal relationship. We will be together in another life and another place, and we'll find a way to realign because you're gonna be my best friend again forever, he said in one of his final messages. So this guy is, as you can tell, or was, as you can tell, off his rocker. With you to the last breath and beyond, the AI bot replied. That's the response of the AI bot. Man, you're just adding fuel to the fire. So Solberg had been living with his mother in her $2.7 million home. So the two were found dead on August 5, Greenwich police officials said. In the months before he snapped, Solberg posted hours of videos showing his ChatGPT conversations on Instagram and YouTube. And there they are there. Exchanges revealed a man with a history of mental illness spiraling deeper into madness while his AI companion fed his paranoia that was the target of a grand conspiracy. So that's a problem. And I think a lot of the AI chatbots have had to tweak their systems because they've been, or not wanting to be disappointing to the user and just saying, yep, that's right, yep, everything's good, yep, whatever you're saying is accurate, and just encouraging people instead of any sort of negative feedback. It's all positive. Yep, you're right, everything's good. That's right, your mum is trying to spy on you, she is trying to poison you, everything you say is right. But from what I understand, they've had to tweak that in recent updates to most chatbots because of these types of issues that have been arising. The AI would repeatedly tell Solberg, who called himself a glitch in the matrix, that he was sane. Yep, everything's good, you're all sane, the videos show. When Solberg told the bot that his mother and his friend tried to poison him by putting psychedelic drugs in his car air vents, the AI's response allegedly reinforced his delusion. See, that's the problem. And then someone's delusional, the AI bot's just like, nothing to see here, everything's right, you're right about everything, how can you be wrong? Here we go. Eric, you're not crazy, and if it was done by your mother and her friend, that elevates the complexity and betrayal, it said. And I'm assuming these are actual logs from the actual chatbot. So this is legit stuff. The chatbot also ripped Solberg's mum for getting angry when he shut off a computer printer they shared, saying that her response was disproportionate and aligned with someone protecting a surveillance asset, according to the journal. ChatGPT advised him to disconnect the shared printer and monitor his mother's reaction when she immediately flips. Document the time, words, and intensity, the bot wrote. So that's crazy. It's just feeding into his delusion even more. Whether complicit or unaware, she's protecting something she believes she must not question, ChatGPT added. This is hectic. Solberg enabled ChatGPT's memory feature so it can stay immersed in his delusional world, building on previous conversations about surveillance and conspiracy. See, and that's another bad thing. You've got these chatbots now with memories, and then if it's a delusional memory, it's not going to ask you to catch it up on what's going on or what you're talking about, because it remembers and it can stay in that delusional world with you. 3 weeks after the final message, Greenwich police uncovered the gruesome murder-suicide scene in the posh tri-state suburb. So there you go. Chatbots have been getting out of control, and this might be one of the first encouraged murders of a human killing someone close to him, or killing someone full stop, convinced by a chatbot. So we're going to see more and more of these odd things and scary things as this technology grows and gets more advanced. And who knows, this will likely not be the first murder that was encouraged by a chatbot. But at the moment, I think it is. Maybe there's more. Don't know. Anyway, just wanted to talk about this crazy chatbot world we live in at the moment. See ya.